Hi everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I am here with the Scrapping for Less Flavor of the Month card kit for the love of pets. This is the August Flavor of the Month card kit, and it is just adorable. I suggest, if you haven't got it, that you try to make sure you pick it up, because I have a feeling this one's going to sell out really quickly. Those 4 cards that you saw in the beginning there are the ones I'm going to be making, so I'll kind of walk you through that. And at the end of this video, I am going to have a huge giveaway. I have a bunch of stuff that, some stamp sets that I had duplicates of, so this is all brand new stuff. And I am opening it up. It will be on my Instagram. My Instagram is at mycrazycraftlife. So you just go over to the Instagram and you'll be able to follow me and then sign up and leave a comment on there for a chance to win. And then you will also be able to tag friends to see if they can get to be part of it too, so that each one will be an additional entry. So when you go over there, I want you to make sure to follow it, to like it, and then, like I said, leave a comment and then tag some friends so that you can be part of this drawing for the giveaway. And like I said, at the end of the video, I will show you all the stuff that I am giving away. So now, on to these cards. So I stamped all of the images, and I also cut all of the paper. So the paper that we got this month are 6 sheets of colored cardstock from My Favorite Things, and those colors are Cotton Candy, Craft, Black Licorice, Banana Split, Snow Cone, and Wild Cherry. Then we also get 210-pound pieces of Nina Smooth White Solar Crust cardstock that is included in this kit, as well as 4 envelopes. So I used my chameleon markers to color those images. In this first collection, I used collection 1, and then I used sketch 2 for this one. And so you will see me making the stuff for that. But I just used the chameleons. I didn't do anything fancy with the coloring. I just thought the dogs themselves were adorable. And I made a black and white one and a little brown one, and I love his little kerchief neck scarf that he's got on, that one of them has on, and I just think it's absolutely adorable. So in this collection, you get Dog Tales by Echo Park Paper. The stamp is Puppy Pals, that has been created exclusively for Scrapping for Less from Newton's Nook. Cat and Dog sticker sheet, that you will have the whole sheet, but you're going to split it between collection 1 and collection 4. So you just got the entire sheet sent over to you. The Becky Higgins Project Life cards, 3 of them, which I actually ended up using one of them in this, or 2 of them actually, for this card, along with obviously some of the paper. But I thought that one little card with the dog bones all over it was just too cute not to use on this card. Now I have kind of a funny thing with this. So I have been using these tape dot, double-sided tape adhesive dots, and I'm not even sure where I picked it up. I want to say it was Michael's maybe, or Joann's. I'm not 100% sure, but one of the stores like that. And I don't know, I do not like them at all. But you see all that extra tape that is there that you have left over after you take the dots out of there? And I was like, I'm using this because, I'm always trying to get the biggest bang for my buck, and we all know tape and adhesive is expensive. So I cut it down and actually used it on these images to pop up the images of the 2 dogs holding the stick together, which, like I said, I just think that's adorable. But you also get in this collection Becky Higgins Project for Life cards, I said that, and then the Scrapping for Less sequins. Now I have the Banana Split level kit, so there's the 2 different ones. You get the 4 collections as part of the Double Dip Sunday, along with the sheets of cardstock and the white and the envelopes. And then with the Banana Split level, you get kind of an extra accessory package. And in that package, you got a black glaze pen, an exclusive pet die set, by Frantic Stamper, which those are adorable. You get a bone, a ball of yarn, a meow, and then woof. I thought those were so cute. And you also get a pet button assortment by Buttons Galore, and then a stamp set that is a Scrapping for Less stamp set for the love of pets, which you can see that over in the corner there, and I think it's absolutely adorable with that little kitten putting its paw into the fishbowl. I love that stamp. So you know one of these cards is going to have that stamp on it. But I kind of pulled that out. So for this, I decided as an embellishment, I was going to use the Pet Button assortment by Buttons Galore. And they do have the backing of it. And I just used my wire cutters to snip that off to make it flat so that I could glue it down. Then I used the glaze pen to make the eyes darker. And then I used a white gel pen to, give the white some, put the white back in the eyes where some of the marker just, went over on it and stuff. And then I was using glossy accents to put on the nose of the brown dog, and then I used a glaze pen to glaze over the nose of the black and white dog. But my glossy accents was giving me lots of trouble, and I was going to edit all of this out, but I thought it was funny, and I always wonder how many people sit here for hours, over time, hours playing with these stupid bottles because they get clogged up and trying to figure it out and unclog them and do all this dumb stuff when I really could have just got another lid or put it in a different box. And then you will see I finally just give up and am done with playing with that for now. But that is the first card. So the second card, I used that stamp with that adorable kitty and the fishbowl. Now, I have lots of animals. I have 2 rescue dogs, Puck and Mia. Mia she's a pit bull rescue. She was actually used as a bait dog. So when we got her, she had lots and lots of problems. But she's really good now. We've had her for 11 years now. So yeah, she really turned out to be a great dog. But like I said, when we got her, she was not in the best shape. And then I have another one that is a lab and a pit mix, they believe. I don't know. I didn't check to see. I didn't care. He was originally a foster. He is my foster failure. I fostered a lot of dogs over the years. But he was the one that decided he was going to be part of our family, whether we were ready for it or not. And he was one of the first dogs. We've had Puck for almost 10 years now. And he was one of the first dogs that Mia ever liked and would, associate with and play with and be part of. And so when I found that and when I saw that they were good together, I said, yeah, we had to keep him and make him part of our family too. So I have those 2, and then we have 2 rescued cats as well. We have Holly and Allie, and then we have fish. So yeah, we got a whole house full of animals here. So when this kit came out, I absolutely loved it. Now, when I was coloring, I just used some Copics and some simple coloring on these images. I used 2 of the images from the For the Love of Pets stamp set by Scrapping for Less. The one dog with the bone in his mouth, because I thought that was adorable, and then the kitty with the fish, or with the paw in the fishbowl. And then I used one of the other dogs from Collection 2. So Collection 2 has Rainbow Dots and Rainbow Stripes by Sunny Studio. Sunny Studio Puppy Dog Kisses stamp set, which is an exclusive for Scrapping for Less. Metal bone shaped clips. Puppy dog bone stencil, and these stencils are adorable that come with this kit. I didn't use the bone one, but I do end up using the other one in another or for another card in this video, because there's just so much in this kit this month that I really just was trying to use as much as I could of the things that came in there. And then you get the Scrapping for Less sequins also that are part of this collection. So for this one, I am using sketch number 4. I used a sentiment from that For the Love of Pets stamp set. And then I just popped up the middle piece, and one of the other sentiments is woof, woof, and I just thought that was super cute. So I end up using that, and then just some sequins from the kit that I kind of put on to give it a little extra bling. And that is really it for this card. Like I said, this kit is just too cute, and I can't wait to make lots more cards with this because I love the pet theme. Now this is the third collection, and I end up using sketch number 3 for it. And what I was originally going to do, the ephemera that you get with this, it's called Pretty Kitty Ephemera by Scrapping for Less. And I loved that little like cat bed, and it had something that looked like a seam. It actually wasn't there, but I used my X-Acto knife and I just kind of cut it, and I thought it would be perfect to use that one kitty that I got in there. So the entire time I was making this card, I was thinking that was what I was going to be putting on the front of it because I thought it was absolutely adorable. But I also decided that I wanted to make a shaker card. So for the panel, I put the whole panel together, and then I used a stitch circle die to cut that out. And then what I'm actually going to do is use the positive side of the circle on the base of the card so that it will still kind of match up and line up with the card itself when I do this. So you'll see when I get the die there, I'm going to cut it out. And then, like I said, I'm actually going to put that circle on the base of the card. And then you'll see when I put it on the base of the card, I put it on the wrong side. So it's a top folding 5.5 by 4 1/4. Yeah, and I put it on the side so that it opened upside down. So I had to stop and do that one over. Luckily, there wasn't too much damage to the card stock, and you couldn't see anything on the inside, so it didn't damage it all the way when I pulled it up, and I was able just to pop it on the other side, and then the shaker part or the other part of the card panel was going to cover up anything else. So it worked out, but yes, it could have been disastrous at that moment. You know, it's funny for me because when I have these really grand ideas that I think I want to do, those are usually the ones that don't turn out for me, or that I have the most trouble with, that I think in my mind I have 100% figured out, and then when I actually try to do it, it doesn't work out. But when I just sit here and kind of throw something together, those are the ones I end up liking the most. So I don't know. I guess everybody's different on how they do things and what they do for it. But for this collection, you have the Kitten Smitten by Doodlebug Designs, the Pretty Kitty stamp set by Scrapping for Less, which I did not use the stamps in this because, like I said, I was using that ephemera, an 18-inch piece of twine, the Pretty Kitty ephemera by Scrapping for Less, and then the Scrapping for Less sequins. Now for this, I decided with the shaker card, I thought it would be cute to use those dies and cut out a bunch of different colorful things out of the dies and to put into the shaker card. When I started making this, I used all 4 of the dies, not thinking about that this was just going to be cats on the card and not necessarily dogs, so I have a bunch of little cutouts that I'll be able to use for something else. But in the end, I did just use the cat meow and a couple of the balls of yarn along with the sequins. And like I said, I had a lot of trouble with, I don't know why, when I do, I can never figure out how to make shaker cards so that I don't have a million issues with them. But for this one, I get the base of it, I put the acetate, the piece of acetate on there, and then use the foam tape to make sure that that gets popped up for the shaker part of it. And I was trying to think about how I wanted to put the sequins and everything in it. So I decided that putting it on the bottom, you know, not in the actual little like channel for the shaker portion, was going to work better for me, and just popping this over, since I did want this to all line up with what is in there. And like I said, I just end up using the meow and the little balls of yarn, and then some of the Scrapping for Less sequins in there. And I think in the end, I think it turned out really cute, but it was a big pain in the butt while I was trying to put it all together. And then you see here, I was in my mind thinking I was using that ephemera with the kitty, but it ended up being too big with the whole thing, so I ended up having to go with something else. And there is the stamp set that I was looking at. I also didn't think about the sentiment I wanted to use with this. So now after I have the entire piece put together, I realized that I need to put a sentiment on this card, and I didn't, there really wasn't anywhere a good place to put it except for on the black area the black cardstock that I used. And I didn't want to use the heat gun so I could heat emboss it since I already had the shaker portion made. So I tested out using some Distress Oxide ink in a light color, I believe that's antique linen, that I ended up using for it. And since I thought I might have to stamp it a couple times, I wanted to use my Tim Holtz platform to make sure that it, went in the same place each time that I stamped it. And then I did use the heat gun just a little bit real far away from it just to give it some air to kind of dry it off. And like I said, I stamped it a bunch of times just to make sure that it was dark enough. And that, other than putting a few sequins on it, is about it for this card. Like I said, I thought it was really cute, and I can't wait to use the stamp set for some because those kitties in the stamp set are super cute too. But I really did like that ephemera, and like I said, I love that cat bed, but then it just didn't work out, so I will have to make another one for that. So the last collection for this, I'm using Sketch 1, and this comes with a Santori Girl with Cat stamp set. So that's really cute. You get the Dots and Stripes by Echo Park paper, the other half of the sheet of dog and cat stickers that you kind of split with collection 1. You get a cat paw print stencil, and then your Scrapping for Less sequins. Now with this, I just used some Copics to do the coloring, so I wasn't doing anything too fancy here. And for all of these images, I just fussy cut. I know a lot of times I use my scan and cut to cut out the images, but since I was just coloring one at a time with this, I just fussy cut them all out. Now I will say I was a little crazy when I was doing the fussy cutting. Most of the images were really simple to cut out. There was no big issue with doing that. But this Santori girl, in between some of the hair, there's white, and I decided I had to get that out of there, so I actually took my X-Acto knife and cut out these little tiny pieces where the hair was, and in my mind I really probably could have just colored over it and not even worried about it, but I didn't. For the area between the cat tail and her leg, I also used the X-Acto knife to cut that. The area between her legs, like with the boots and her dress and everything, I just snipped between the boots, where the boots met. And then when I glued it down, it was, it just goes right back together, so that was fine. And I just used that to cut the piece out on that one. Blues and greens and turquoise are my favorite colors, so I'm sure you probably see a lot of that in colors that I use when I'm coloring, because those really are my favorite colors. This little girl was really cute though. I loved her little like wrist warmers that she had, and I made that match the hat when I colored it, and then the dress I made the turquoise colors, and the cat was just a little brown cat. So like I said, nothing too fancy, just a little bit of shading here and there with the image. Again, I'm super excited about this giveaway. This is my first giveaway that I've ever done, so I'm kind of excited. There will be, like I said, the Instagram post, so make sure you get over to that and get on Instagram at My Crazy Craft Life and find it there, and then you will be able to get into that giveaway. Now, one of the things that we got in this kit was the stencil, and this is the cat paw stencils. So what I decided I wanted to do was take a piece of the black licorice, and I was going to make cat prints all over it, like the cat was walking through, I don't know, paint or something. Now, initially when I did it, I was going to have them all go the same way, so the first two colors I did all in the same direction. And then I decided, wait, I want to change that and make them go in all different directions, like the cat was walking all over the place. So that's what I ended up doing with it. And I just used abandoned coral, peacock feathers, what is that yellow called? Spiced marmalade is the orange, and squeezed lemonade is the yellow that I used on there. And I thought this background turned out really cool. It wasn't exactly what I was thinking when I first did it, but after it was all done and over with, I think it ended up turning out really cool how it looked with all the little cat paw prints all over the place on here. And I end up using that for the majority of the background of the card. Now with this, like I said, I was using Sketch 1, and so I was just using some of the paper from that, but then I also used that big piece for the background. And since I had that dark piece on there, I used that really bright yellow color that was part of the Dots and Stripes by Echo Park to give it a little color, and then all of the other pieces for the banners that are part of that, I just used the paper that was part of the kit. And like I said, I thought with the really bright colors, I was trying to use the similar colors for the paw prints using the stencil, so that's why I used the peacock feathers and the orange marmalade and the abandoned coral, because that kind of correlates with the colors that were part of this paper pad or paper that we got in the collection. So I thought that was super cute. And then I just use a piece of black to put the sentiment on, and then I heat embossed that sentiment on that card or on that banner for that one. I did pop up the circle with some foam tape, or not foam tape, fun foam. Or this is actually, I don't like this foam. I got it from the dollar store, but I am insisting that I have to use everything that I have. You know, I'm trying to use a lot of my things, and just so I stop having so much stuff. And so I'm making sure that I use this stuff, but it's really thin, it's really flimsy, and I'm really not a fan. But honestly, it's kind of perfect when you just want to give it a little bit of something. You don't want it to be too much because it's still pretty flat. So if you mail it in the mail, it's not going to be a big deal, and not be too long or too much to make you have to pay more for postage and stuff. So I thought that turned out super cute. And then I just used a little piece of foam on the end of that last banner with the sentiment on there, just to make sure that it was didn't get messed up in the mail because of that little bit. And then I used a piece of the foam tape on the top of her hat, again, just because her head is a little bit over the circle. I added some sequins to this, well, kind of along with the sketch. And that is my last card. So here is the stuff for the giveaway. So there's quite a few things, so I'm going to kind of show each one of them to you and tell you what they are. So let's get started. The first one is from Shamil. It is die cut cardstock images. There's 12 of them. So those are the. Next is 9 wood veneer pieces from Craft Market, I'm sorry. The next thing is veneer shapes from We Are Memory Keepers. That's called Flower Girl. There's 15 pieces in that. Then I have a Lawn Spawn stamp set, So Jelly. That will be part of it. The next thing is by Studio Calico. It's 7 paper. They're transparent dividers. There's 5 of them in there. They're Christmas themed. I have a Pink Fresh Studio Dream On layered chipboard stickers. Don't be afraid to dream big. I thought that was cute. I have Pink Fresh Studio cardstock alpha stickers. Dream On. It's kind of a greenish, a seafoam green color and coppery. The next thing is Pink Fresh Studio Leather Stickers. Pink Fresh Studio Acetate Alpha Pack. So those are the alphabet, and that's what they look like. Then I have a Sunny Studio stamp set that is Oceans of Joy. This is actually one of my favorite stamp sets of all time. The next thing I have is Heidi Swipe frames. So those are the frames. They're like little snapshot frames, and it's Christmas themed. I have some Heidi Swap cards that you can make. There's 12 pieces in there. I think it makes 12 cards, to be honest. I'm not sure. Like I said, this is all new stuff. I have a Heidi Swipe wood veneer piece that says Best Ever and a piece of cardstock in there that you can use. I have a Studio Calico plastic shapes. There are 10 of them in there. That's all holiday Christmas themed. I have Pebbles overlays. There are 10 of them in there, frames. They just have different sayings like my family and things like that. I have some a Muslim bag kit that comes with a stencil so that you can decorate the bag. And then the last thing are foil pocket cards. There's 24 pieces in there. It's from Heidi Swipe. And that is the giveaway. Like I said, make sure you stop by my Instagram at mycrazycraftlife and get into this giveaway. And here are the cards again that I made today. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.